Hey guys, Kory here. So I'm really excited to bring you this Treasure Hunting Tuesday video of my gem show haul this year. So every year I go to the gem show and it is my candy store for sure. And I like to save throughout the year. I just set aside a little savings fund for the gem show, and I'll throw $5 in here, 10 there, $1 here, a couple dollars there, and then I take that money and I go to the gem show carnival and I have the time of my life. And I have got to say, guys, I have had quite a hard time over, I don't know, it's just been a while. It's been COVID and all that junk stuff that's going on in the world, and I've had some, been feeling down. And I went to the gem show this year and I had the best day I've had in such a long time. I can't even tell you. But I don't bring all that stuff up on my channel here because this is your escape. This is my escape. This is our place to get creative and have fun. You can hear about all that junk it's hard to even get away from it, right? So I don't want to bring that to our sanctuary, but I just wanted to say that, the day I had, and it's really funny, I have to tell on myself, I actually went back the next day, but I just ran in and got some extra beads on the second day. The first day I went, Friday, I got to spend like 4.5 hours. My feet were killing me, my legs were killing me, but my spirits were soaring when I got home, and it felt so good to just have an amazing day. So, with all the smoke, I've been having some health problems, and I've just had a really hard time the past few months, and my channel hasn't been going the way I envisioned it. But you know what? All of that is behind me in this moment here, and I am so excited to share with you my haul. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so these, I just wanted to show you the card to tell you what this is. This is Ammonite, and these are 102 to 110 million years old, and they are from Mahajanga, Madagascar, and aren't they lovely? Now, I had a couple goals when I went this year, and the goal for these was I wanted some stuff to be able to take better thumbnails. My thumbnails, there's quite a bit of room for improvement with my thumbnails, and so I'm getting really serious about staging my photos and all those things. So that was the idea behind getting these. Now let me show you the backs of these because they are really spectacular. I think the backs are so beautiful in their own right too. So I just think that I could use both sides of these for staging photos. So let's go ahead and move on. Now I got some pairs of these because I wanted to make some pendants and earrings out of them, and just have some extra laying around. But first, let's go over these fun little rings. I found this just wonderful artist out there. I mean, the place is just a mecca of artists, jewelry artists, and they do amazing work. And this gal, she designs all these herself and then ran her booth herself, and she was just a do-it-all woman like so many of us are, So I got this ring. I got this fun one here. And these were not very expensive. So this is not something that I will wear all the time. I really got these to wear while I'm making videos for you guys so that I could just have a little bit more fun. Now I got, she had a deal, buy 5 and get a price cut. So I did buy 5. I bought these 4, and then I have one that's in my Jeep that I left in my Jeep on accident. But you'll see it. You will see it in my videos. And I just love the style. It's so amazing to me to see different artists. Now I got this and I forgot what the guy said this was. And I'm sure you guys, plenty of you are looking at this going, I know exactly what that is. So if you would leave it in the comments section below, I'd appreciate it. But I just thought that this was just a beautiful piece to have around. I just love stones. I've always had a love for stones and gems and rocks and all that kind of stuff, all this kind of stuff. So now here's some more Ammonite pears, and some of these just look like an old rock on the outside. It is completely amazing to me how these look. But you get, of course, the mirror image because it's a cut of itself. So there's those. And, you know, my plan for these, and I'm going to show you here, some of them I'm going to keep just for staging and photos and that kind of thing. But I have done some wire wrapping of these in the past. And now these are some of these ammonites that I got at the show a number of years ago. And I did this wire wrapping to them. And I struggle with this style because, let me move that up into frame. I think sometimes the metal takes away from the shell, but I'm so in love with the shells and I want to wear them and show them off. So I'm just going to keep making some more of these. And then here is the back. Is that not amazing? I mean, this one right here, just lovely to wear on the back side and have that smooth side not showing. And it's the best of them all. This one really has a textured, just loveliness to it. It's really incredible. The wire wrapping I did on this one is a little different too. It's a little bit more showcasey style of the shell, and then these cut across. And you know, sadly, I try not to talk about my weaknesses. Well, I do talk about them though, don't I? I guess I really can't say that. But sometimes my hands cramp up on me, and this style's much more difficult to pull off than this style. So I am going to be making more of this style just simply because I can do it. You know, the older I get, I'm just starting to struggle a little bit with my hands, but I spend most of my time in denial about my shortcomings because if I deny them, they don't have as much power over me. At least, you know, that is my take on it. So try to make this. So I actually turned my lighting down today so that you guys could see that. So I'm just going to kind of leave that there and hold it, because if I drop it, then it just reflects. Let me bring you in a little closer for these. The detail is phenomenal on these. Here's that pair. This pair I just find stunning. Well, get in frame, Kory. I love the contrast of the black and the earth tones. Oh, just lovely. I cannot believe what an amazing day I had. I try to leave the house with a good attitude every time I go out into the world, because I truly believe. And another part to that, whenever I drive, because my worst behavior is really when I'm driving. I mean, my anger boils over, not so much my behavior, but I get more angry more quickly driving, like so many of us. But you know what I do? I leave the house and I look at all the cars around me as though they are my friends driving around in those cars, and I treat them as though I know them and I love them. And you know what? It works magic in my life. And I leave the house with a good attitude too. It's pretty rare that I set out anymore in a really bad mood where I'm attracting all that bad stuff. I just don't do it because I think about it, and it works wonders. But this day at the gem show was beyond beyond my imagination how good it was. And I just wanted to share that with you. If you are having a hard time, hang in there and keep your chin up, and it will get better. And just, I expect things to go well, and I expect things to get better when they're not going well. So try my trick. I think you'll be really surprised, very pleasantly surprised, if you don't already do it, which you probably do. Maybe this is just serving as a reminder. So look at the detail of those. These are, they just make me so happy. I'm trying to kind of block the light. Really, really, they're so shiny because the cutting and buffing process just makes them so shiny. So it's hard to show you. It's all right though. Most of these, the back really do look raw, but I love that look too. I love both sides on all of them. And then I've got one more pair. I got a couple of these smaller pairs, and the guy had a bunch, and I wish I would have bought more. But the funny thing is I blew my budget Friday, and I found some beads that I fell in love with, which I'm going to show you in a second. And so I ran back. I had to go to the city Saturday anyway. So I went ahead and made the extra trip back out to the gem show and just to pick up some beads. And I wish I would have thought to get a few more pairs of these, but I have the guy's card, so I think it'll be pretty easy to order some. So, it's funny because I do the budget every year, and I just go there wishing I was a multi-millionaire because my budget gets spent pretty darn fast, So now I got these gorgeous amethyst pendants. And I don't know if I said it earlier, but I'm starting my jewelry line, and I made a bunch of earrings. I came home all excited with these beads, and I made a bunch of earrings, and I'm going to show you those, and I'm going to show you how to make a pair real quick. So we'll get into that too. But I'm really gonna focus on getting my jewelry line up and in my Etsy shop this winter, starting now. I've already started making jewelry for it. So here's these beautiful amethyst pendants I picked up, and I only picked up 4 this year, but I did pick up a lot of them previously. So I have more, but I haven't put any of them together yet. Now here's this gorgeous little, this is Halite. This is a cut Halite pendant. And I got this, I only got one. They were pretty inexpensive, but I was at the end of my budget. And so I just got one to make for me because I like to make me jewelry too. Now these little shells here are lovely, and these were in a little cheapo bin. And look at the detail of these. It just looks like the prehistoric fossilized shell that it is. And these have not been cut in half, and I love the raw, and I wish I would have bought more of these too. Some of this stuff I'm going to be looking online before the gem show next year, trying to get some more of these. I definitely want more of these, and I just love to shop for stones and stone beads. So there's those 3. This video is going to be kind of long if I don't get a move on here. Now this one, oh la la. This is a piece of black opal, and I took a picture. Let me just pull it up on my phone and read it to you. Yep, this is black opal, and the sign said it promotes positive choices and mood, a strong immune system, and financial wellness. And who does not want that, right? So I saw this and just had to have it, just as a specimen piece for my little collection I have going. And I do apologize about the studio lights. There's not much I can do about it. Let me see. That's a little bit better. A really lovely piece, and you can see how big it is. It's almost as big as my hand, and these were half off. I couldn't believe it. They had so much stuff. If I was a millionaire, I would not be after leaving the gem show. I just wouldn't be after that. So I would be, yeah. The beads, oh my goodness. Okay. Now, I know that this is not everyone's taste, but this is absolutely my taste. Look at these. These are, I want to get as close as I can. Let's do this. I'm going to bring you down in here. Focus. Oh, it's too close. There we go. Okay, these are fossils, the guy told me. So these are bones and rock kind of blended together after years and years of sitting in the earth, and then they were uprooted and cut and drilled, and now they are the most amazing beads. Now in here I have cut some wires for earring pairs, and we're going to get into that very quickly. So let me move this over. I have just a couple more things to show you from the haul, and then we'll get into the earring making. Back forth. This is another back forth video. So I did take the liberty, look at those. I took the liberty the other night, right off. I was so excited when I got home with these that I couldn't keep my hands off of them, and I couldn't keep my mind off of them. And so, you know, it was me and the beads for the entire evening when I got home, and it didn't matter how much my legs and my feet hurt. It was me and the beads. So what I did was I just went ahead and paired up a bunch of these for earrings to make, and that's why they're in the baggies here. Get those out of the way. But I've got a few left here, and they are just, you know, they go right into alignment with the beads I just showed you. And I am very, very attracted to earth colors, earthy stones. I don't like a lot of bright stuff. And, you know, you won't get a lot of bright stuff on my channel, but there's so many artists out there who do that bright, beautiful artwork. But here, you know, it's all about the matte and the earth here. So these are scenic jasper and matte oval, and these originate from China according to this little tag. And I like to keep my tags in with my beads so that I know, and I will put the business card of the dealer in with the stuff too. I usually try to do that just to keep it all together, because I definitely want to order more of these. Now, these I blew my budget on really quick, and you know, again, they're that very earthy look. So let's pull one out here. I love these stripes. They just look like a landscape, like a very barren landscape from a plane to me. And they're very matte, and they've got a small hole drilled. So I bought these bigger ones for pendants. They're kind of like really big for earrings. I don't think I would make earrings out of these, but I think that they will make amazing pendants. And I haven't had a chance to get into that yet. And if you want to see me make some pendants, I'm happy to do it. I've got a few jewelry videos, of course, here on my channel, and I am happy to do that. So leave it in the comments section below for me if you'd like to see some pendants being made. But now I want to get into these earrings. I came home Friday and just started making jewelry. I was gonna cook dinner and didn't do it, and my guy was so sweet that he ended up throwing something together for us, because I didn't wanna do anything but play with my beads. And he is so sweet, he let me. So back up, in, out, okay. Now these are those fossilized beads I just showed you, and I have a couple more strands that I did get So I'll show you those too. And then these are the, of course, the little ovals. So, you know, let's get really close here. I should have just done this to begin with. I'm so excited about all this stuff, and I just want to share my excitement with you. So here's this pair, and then you know, they're all the same, basically. Well, none of the beads, all the beads are, oh, good grief. None of the beads are, you know, these are not carbon copies, which is what I love about them. I don't want carbon copy beads, but they're all the same style. So I made three, sorry about that wrapper. I made 3 pair of this style here, and here they are. And what I'm going to do is, speaking of, here's this obnoxious wrapper. I'll try to keep it down. I got a pack of 500 earring cards on eBay, if you're wondering about these cards. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to personalize them and make a little something to tack over the top and cover the hole, because I don't have a store where they're going to be on display. I don't need that hole, but I'm going to personalize the branding on these. I just really love how they look against the black background. So I was very happy to get those cards because I just think they look really nice. Now I'll do the same thing with these, and then we'll get on with the making of this, and I'll show you the other beads I got too. So here's these, and I whipped all these out in an evening. Okay, it's a really simple style, so it was a little easier. These just have an extra little gold bead on them, and these gold beads here, boy, that lighting. Here, let's just do that. I got these at Michael's. I get most of all of this kind of beads, like the, you know, these are the star of the show, and these are the backup singers. I get all the backup singers at mostly at Michael's, some at Joann's, and some at Hobby Lobby, but mostly, and these are Michael's, okay, just so you know. And then the wire, I buy all of my wire at Hobby Lobby just because their pricing is really great, and they have, let me find it. They have these spools that are non-tarnishing. This is not pure gold. I just cannot make the amounts of jewelry I want to make using really high-end metals. I just can't do it, and I don't do it. And so, you know, and I don't claim that they are or any of that, but I like to make a lot, and I do use hypoallergenic earring, these thingies here. Anything that touches your skin, I'm really concerned with using good stuff. So these are all hypoallergenic. And then here is this bead, this earring, and we're going to make the other one to this today, right now. And I'm going to show you how easy it is. So let's get on with that. This video is going to be ages long. My goodness. You know what though? Sometimes you've just got to have, I just want to take the time, you know, you guys come back here and you like my stuff, and I want to take the time with you to show you what's possible. So I got a strand of these little stone beads, and they're, you know, they're all different colors, and they're speckled, and some of them aren't speckled, and I just got what I could. Now with this earring here, I used pretty solid gray, and I love the combination of gray and gold. When I first saw this combination, I did not like it at all. And the reason I didn't like it is because it was in kind of an 80s clothing format, but in this stone format, it is by far one of my all-time favorite color combinations. So I'm going to grab a couple little gray beads out, and then these beauties, you know, I forgot to ask about a couple of things, and these were not marked. Some of the dealers do not mark the stones, and I'm not sure what these are. I am assuming they are some form of jasper. and I could be wrong about that. Look at how small that one is. I hope I have another one in here that's small like that. They are lovely though. I just love the green. I love the earth tones. So what you want to do is, now I never measure my wire. I pick out my pattern, okay, and then I just guesstimate. And now here's my tools. I'm going to need a few different sets of pliers. The first pair of pliers I'm going to use are my round nose, okay? And I'm just going to walk through this and talk as I go. You want to grab a hold of this right there where you've got the end of the wire right flush with your round nose, and then just whip that all the way around until you get a closed circle just like that. And then I'm going to use my acrylic padded pliers. These have these little plastic acrylic pads on them so that you don't scratch your stuff up. And I'm going to put just this circle right inside the hole. Or right in. I'm going to put just the circle right inside the pliers and then squeeze as tight as I can and start wrapping this spiral. And it's really this simple. Now what you want to do, back to measuring and stuff, here's what I do. I will cut 2 wires. I should stop for a second and talk about this. I cut 2 wires the same length. And then if they're not long enough for the pattern of beads I chose, I don't worry about it. I just make a mental note of it and I make a shorter pattern of beads. And then I will cut a pair of longer wires in the future. Since we're on the topic of wire, I'm using this old gold color. I am not using this color. You can see this is much more faded and this is much brighter, but it's the same brand. It's by the Beadsmith and it's the same gauge. I generally stick with 22 gauge wire. Give you a clear shot of the label for all of my jewelry making. I do thinner wires for decorative elements, so there is that, but I try not to go thicker than this because the thicker the wire, the harder it is to work with, and my hands just will not cooperate with me. So if I want to do this, I have to take it easy on myself. So now what you want to do, the hole on this one is a little bit bigger than the hole on this spiral, and that's perfectly okay. I like a handmade look. I don't worry about things like that, but I want my spiral to generally be the same size as this one. So that I really do strive for that. So I've got it pretty much dialed in there. Now what you want to do, let me move this stuff. You want to take your round nose again and just hold your spiral. And then take those and you want to bend this back to almost a 90-degree angle so that you have, let me set it down. Basically, you have something like this. Now, those of you who watch me, you know I'm a bit of a hack and I do not worry and, concern myself with a bunch of perfectionistic headaches. So now I've got this really cool hammer, and I bought this hammer set. Where did I buy the hammer set? I think I bought this. You can get them all over. They have all different kinds of fittings, and I'm pretty sure I got mine at Hobby Lobby, and this came in a whole kit. It came with the hammer and all the fittings, okay? And I've got my just flat steel piece here, and then I've got my little this is a hammering block for your metalworking, and then I just take this and I'm going to mute this part, but I'm going to give this a few really good whacks to kind of flatten out the spiral. Here we go. And of course, you want to be really careful not to whack your fingers. Doesn't that part go without saying? Well, thank you, Captain Obvious. Okay. So now that you've got this part, that's kind of the hard part right there, is getting that. Now, I did not do jump rings on these, and you absolutely can do jump rings on them. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I haven't been lately. I'm not sure why I'm not. Doesn't matter. I don't worry. So I'm just going to follow my same exact pattern. I love these gold beads. You can get really tiny seed beads, and I've said it before, I hate chasing little tiny seed beads around, and I refuse to do it. So I've got a little burr on my wire on the top, and it's making the beads not want to go through. So I can just spin and spin and clamp and clamp. I like to put that blingy in between the stones because I think it really adds to the look. Okay, let me move this again. I keep using this as a reference and then I'm blocking what I'm doing. I apologize. So now we're at this point. And this has only taken a long time just because I'm filming, of course, you get it. So now what you want to do is you want this loop to be flush with this loop. You don't want them going different ways, you know what I'm saying? So what I like to do is hold the spiral with my fingers, and then I let my fingers be the guide. I'm going to take my round nose again, and I'm going to take it and just leave the tiniest bit of a gap between that last bead so I have a tiny bit of room to work with. And I'm going to bend that sideways, and it's going the same way as the spiral, okay? And I'm going to go a little bit more than a 45 and a little bit less than a 90. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to go further down because I've talked about this before too. These round nose are designed for you to make big holes to small holes. So you get to pick your size with this tool. That's the whole point of this tool, which I love. So then you want to come out to the end of your wire and grab it. And I'm almost to the halfway mark, just shy of it. And you're going to want to spin around. And then what I have to do is let go and readjust and spin again until you have a really nice loop. Now this is kind of loose. So then I have these are my sawtooth roundish ended. I'm trying to get that. There you go. See the sawtooth in there? These are great for gripping your wire, and I don't want to scratch my wire as I scratch it. Let me move these. Let me move. Okay. Arg. Okay. So much easier when you're not filming. So now I just want to give this a little squeeze and suck that all together, just like that. Now, sometimes you can end up overlapping your wire, and there's a very easy fix for that. Just take your soft-edged pliers and smash that all down together. So now you have a really nice, you might have to do it a couple times. No big deal, okay? And then you have this beautiful little earring element. Now, we've got our little earpiece, and you'll notice, and they are universal. One is like the other, like the other, like the other. I take my sawtooth again, and I loved these curved. I love the curved because you can really get in here. And then you want to twist your little earring sideways. One side, it's always the inside on these. It's always, you know, the inside closest to this hook part that opens out. And then just simply slip your earring on there. This is a very easy, basic earring design. It's great for beginners. It's great to get your feet wet. If you want to make jewelry, this is a wonderful place to start because you'll find out real quick whether or not you want to make jewelry after making a few of these. It can be hard on your hands, but if you just do it right and you take it easy on yourself and you don't you know, expect perfection, and you don't, you know, you just let yourself maybe mess up a pair or 2 or 10 to get it, you know, and chances are you won't. Chances are you're going to get it right the very first time. So my point is, don't sweat it, okay? Just don't sweat it and let yourself be able to make mistakes. I've thrown wire out. I just had to do it with these. I used too big of a gauge of wire. None of the holes in my beads would fit. It was a total fight, and it came out looking like crap because I scratched the heck out of my wire and I scratched the finish off, and I ended up having to cut the wire and take all the beads off and throw the wire in the trash, and I probably lost a good half hour, okay, of my time doing it, but it's okay. Just let it be what it is. So there's your gorgeous pair of earrings. Look at that. And then you can get these beautiful cards to showcase your stuff. And then you can make a little label and brand them all for your own and sell these and give them as gifts and do whatever you want. So I'm really glad that you stuck it out today. I know it's kind of a long video and that I talked a lot, but I wanted to just spend some time, and you know, I'm really wanting you guys to get to know me more, and I'm coming out of my shell more and more, and I am such a loner by nature, and I'm finding that I love the company of people more than I ever have in my life, and I'm not really sure what that's about. Maybe I don't have as much fear as I used to have when I was younger, or as much suspicion, because I've always been really suspicious of people, like dysfunctionally suspicious. So I'm really coming out of my shell, and I'm loving it. So I'm glad that you joined me today, and I can't wait for you to come back, and I really want you to like and subscribe my video, and I want to stay here and keep making these videos. And my plan is to make most of my videos shorter than this. I'm really aiming for 15-20 minute videos, but every now and then you're gonna get a chit-chatty video where we can just hang out together. So go ahead and get yourself some materials and make yourself some jewelry and give yourself the gift of the joy of jewelry making. And check out your local gem shows, or, you know, if you can get your hands on some gems online. I think I might be creating a few monsters by inviting you guys to do this, but it's okay. I mean, you're already there if you're there, right? And you probably already have a stash of all of this stuff anyway. So get it out and have a play, and just, you know, be kind to yourself, because the world is not being very kind to us lately. At least it's not, in my opinion. And I think it's really important that people know that we are valued, and that we have value, and that our lives are sacred, and that each and every life is important. And, you know, when I'm in my artwork, that's what I get. That's what I get. I get that magic dance of creativity going, and I get to feel really good about myself, and really good about the world, and really good about everything. You know, that's why I do this all the time. So thanks again for stopping by, and I will see you very soon. Have an excellent day.